What's up, guys? How's it going? And welcome to another episode of the Rising Knight podcast. This is your host Kuro with my co-host Rising. How you doing, man?
Yo, how's it going, everybody? Pretty good. It's been a minute, guys. We didn't do one last week, but we're here. We're here now.
Yeah, we definitely took a little bit of a break. It wasn't much, so we just kind of wanted to. I needed a little bit of a break. I was a little bit busy last week with some stuff. But we're back again today with another episode. It's gonna be very exciting. We actually have a kind of a catching up to do. We've been doing a bunch of stuff the last few weeks, so we're gonna kind of talk about that. And as far as, of course, as you can see by the title, the PlayStation 5 Stray, that cat game that I'm sure everybody's talking about right now, and some other games that we've been playing lately, because we obviously play a lot of games. Besides that, I know you've been playing another certain game. Are you able to talk about it? Are you allowed to talk about the beta you're playing?
Oh, Overwatch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I should be good.
And we can talk
it's over now, unfortunately.
It'll be a good time to talk about it. I guess since you're not gonna make a video on your channel about it, right?
I thought about it, but I don't think I am, because this is technically the second beta, and anybody could have made content during it. And I've already done some streams, so I probably won't make a video, fortunately. But no, another reason why we didn't do an episode, guys, is because I have a long story of how I got my PS5. The day we were going to record, I was completely trashed. So I guess we could kind of segue to the PS5
let's go
stuff
into
here
it.
with
Let's go ahead.
Go
ahead and talk about that story. You messaged me. It was like really early in the morning, and I was like, "Yo, what?"
Yeah, it was like 8. It was like 7 or 8 a.m. or something. Basically, my brother and his friend saw, like, at our local GameStop, there was like a picture like on the door of like, hey, we're getting some PS5s in stock or whatever. And I'm not actually, like, I wasn't really needing a PS5 like super bad. I wasn't actually caring too much about it. There was a couple games I wanted to play, of course, and I wouldn't mind getting a one, but they're like, yeah, they have PS5s. They're going to be restocking this weekend. And I was like, should we try and go? I told my brother, I was like, do you want to stay up till midnight or whatever? Or like till they open, basically. Not midnight. It's not like a midnight release, I guess. It's like a early morning release. So basically, as soon as they opened, we went there. But I was like, do you want to stay up all night until then? So that's what I did. And I didn't expect
did your friend also get one?
No, none of them really like had money to get one or anything. I even though I quit my job, I just had a lot of money saved up, so I was like, maybe I just buy one, because like this is gonna be the only chance I'm gonna get for a while to even get one. So I showed up an entire hour early, one whole hour early, and I was 6th in line out of like 10. I think I remember messaging you that like they had like 6 or 7 physical ones, and then like 3 or 4 of the digital. Okay. I was lucky enough to get a physical, which is exactly what I wanted. So I got exactly everything I wanted from like a PS5. But like I said, I was there an hour early, about 20 minutes later. So if I was 20 minutes later than like an hour early, if I was there like 40 minutes early, I wouldn't have got one. That's how close it was. So,
damn, dude.
People asked me when I got my PS5, like, oh, they're restocking and everything should be good. It's like, no, it's actually not super easy to get one still. It's still kind of hard, unfortunately, but it looks like they are trying to restock. If I remember right, I think some of the, like, I don't know what it is, like the chip issues and shipping issues in like California and stuff, I don't think it's bad anymore, so I wouldn't be surprised if they start shipping out more soon. But yeah, I had a wild day. I didn't get home till like 11 a.m. I like bought my brother breakfast and everything for just like showing up, but like, dude, it was seriously like super late getting home and getting my PS5 and everything. As soon as I got home, I started downloading Demon Souls. I'm like, I'm not playing it tonight, so I'm just gonna let everything download. And then pretty much the next day I was still downloading a bunch of stuff, carrying over save files and everything to like the cloud and whatnot. But eventually I just got to the point where I'm like, it's all good now, and I just started playing Demon Souls that first day. And like, yeah, it was a pretty wild thing. I've definitely never done that for a console. I was typically like, I'll just get it when it's like super available. But
interesting. I actually done it with the PS3 when I first moved to the States. It's actually around. I'm giving away how many years I've been here already. But
lore. Here's the secret lore, guys.
yeah, I actually went and got a PS3, and it was also like, I know people are like, oh no, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that, but it was also not easy to get one whenever they first come out. It's the same thing for most consoles whenever they first come out. It's typically not super easy to get it right away. And
Right.
I remember it took me like going to like a few stores a few times before I was able to get one. Was I in line? No, not really. But and then the same thing with the PS4. I will go all the time to my local GameStop, like Target and whatever, and they didn't have them available either. So it's still like, it's not any different from that, I feel, because like you got yours at GameStop. I actually got mine at GameStop. I want to call them out a little bit though, because the bullshit bundles that they do is it's really fucked up that they do that.
Yeah.
So for you guys that don't know, basically, if you're in the United States and you're buying from GameStop, you can only buy one as a bundle with like $300 more worth of stuff. At least the one that I got was like $300 more. It had two games for me. It had Demon Souls and the Spider-Man game. And then he had another controller and a camera. Which, by the way, all of those stuff sounds really good. Like, that was a good packet. Because
that is.
because I wanted to own Demon Souls. I'm a huge Souls fan. I love Spider-Man, but I had already played it, so I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. I just sold it, and another PlayStation controller. You know, like that's a pretty good pack right there. What was yours?
Yeah, mine. Well, like you're really lucky for getting Demon Souls, because like, again, like Demon Souls was free on the PS like service, which is how I'm playing it. But still, I'd much rather have had that physical than Call of Duty Vanguard. That's literally the game I got with it. They had it bundled in with like I don't know, it was the controller charger thing. You can set two controllers on it and it charges. That was another
that's such
thing.
A bad one. Really, they give you that?
Yeah, it was that, Call of Duty Vanguard, a year subscription of PS Plus, and another controller. Which the other controller, I was going to get one anyway, right? Because my brother and stuff and everybody else wanted to play. Right now, I've been just swapping the controllers. But I got the red one, which I've seen that you recently got as well. Dude,
I got that controller too. Dude, it's such a nice controller. Like, the color scheme is beautiful. I want to say though, PlayStation, the PlayStation 5 color schemes, I'm not a fan of. Like, they have like the basic colors, right? Red, blue, purple, pink. Well, they're all like matte, weird colors. They're not straight up the color you will think. Like, the blue is the one shade of blue. I love blue, and I know you love blue too, but that specific shade of blue is not good. And then the purple is also like a very plasticky purple. The pink looks like, I will be fine if it was like gamer girl pink. But it's like this hot pink that I do not like either. And like, I agree. Like none of the colors are like colors that I particularly like.
The colors look plasticky, which I think is the problem. I don't think it's like necessarily the colors themselves. It's like, I don't know how to explain it.
Maybe it's the
like
finish. Maybe it's like the matte finish.
The finish, yeah. The matte finish looks super I know what it is though. They're trying to match what the console looks like. You know, like the little things that you could take off and put new ones on. The outside edges, the white bits of the PS5, like that looks good in white. But in like that weird looking red or whatever, it doesn't look good. I love the red controller. Don't get me wrong. I think that's like the best looking one. I think the purple one was decent, but I'd much rather it be like a deeper like blood red than like the red it is there.
Right, or like a really bright red. Like either one, like a really bright red will be cool too. Like, think Persona 5 red, right? That's a pretty good red shade. Blue, I would like it if it was either a dark blue or like a teal blue. That would be like personally what I would like more, or maybe sky blue, but not that particular blue that they picked. I don't know, man. It's kind of whack, but it is what it is. It's you got it. And Vanguard, man, it didn't flop, right? I mean, they're probably giving it because
dude, nobody wants it. It's a PS5 version. The thing that sucks is like, I like zombies. I like Call of Duty Zombies. The zombies in it is pretty damn bad, but like, I already have the game on PS4. I get a free version of the game anyway, so it's still like super useless for me. to have. But like, you know, I wasn't gonna argue with the people. It's like I said, the reason why I got it was because I was like, this is probably the only chance I'm gonna get for a very long time for me to get a PS5. So I was like, I guess this is what I'm gonna do, you know. So I just went with it. So
For sure.
I'm just gonna sell it.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I will do that too. If I get that game, I'm just not a fan of that particular game.
I can at least sell it packaged, right? It's not even used. It's still in its like saran wrap or whatever, you know. It's like it's not even touched yet. So
yeah,
that's
if you try to sell it
be.
in GameStop, they won't take it with the saran wrap. You actually have to open it. But if you sell
Really?
it, they won't take it like that. But if you want to sell it somewhere else, like let's say eBay or something, there are plenty of people that just want a sealed copy.
Yeah, that's true. I might just sell it on like Facebook, like Marketplace or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people buy it from there, and it'd be nice just to locally get rid of it too. Someone just drives over, I just hand it to them or whatever. Yeah, which, you know, it's whatever. I'm glad I still got it. I don't regret the decision. Still, I paid like $800. I'll just say how much I paid. I paid $800 for it because I think it's just good for people to know this, like what to expect. Because I don't want people to like be like, "Oh shit," about like this stuff and not realize it. Like
100%.
I paid $800.
Right, like I said, same thing here. It's $300 more than the flat price, and it's because they're selling you like the controller and the game and the other accessories or whatever. So because they know they're not gonna, you know, there's a bundle out there that was also $800, but it had the headphones, the Bluetooth headphones for the PS5.
Yeah, see, I thought that's what I was gonna get, but I actually don't want the headset because I don't feel like I need it, I guess. But yeah, I much rather have had that than like Call of Duty Vanguard or something, because at least I have like a backup pair of like headset or something.
It's a good headset too. It has like 3D audio and all that stuff. I wouldn't buy it, but if it's part of the bundle, I guess I'll take that. Right?
It's definitely been better.
So anyway, you got the PS5. What do you think about it so far?
Dude, honestly, and I don't know if this is like a controversial opinion or a hot take or anything. I really don't know because like I just don't think a lot of people have a PS5. But literally, I think it's a significant jump when it comes to like ease of life, when it comes to like controlling things on the menu and everything else. It takes a second to get used to, and I kind of get why people don't like it some, but I think it's a lot better. I think it's less confusing as well, but I think the PS5 is a bigger jump than it was from the PS3 to PS4. The PS3 to PS4, it felt like they focused a lot on multiplayer stuff. Like in terms of graphics, it's better, but it's not that much better. But online, they have the party system, friend invites, different stuff like that. A lot of that changed. You could see recent players and stuff. I feel like there was a huge focus with the PS4 with that. But the PS5, I feel like it has a huge focus on like single player games, but also still has multiplayer stuff. Like the way you could see your trophies, and it literally shows the challenges that you have left. You can like mark challenges, almost like speedrun type stuff. Like that's a setting with the PS5. So it seems like there's a huge focus on this
There's
game.
a lot of that kind of stuff, and there's a lot of like tips and stuff like that. Like if you're stuck in a part or whatever. And I think you will even try to pull up like YouTube videos and that kind of stuff. Like if you're really stuck and you can't like do something or whatever.
And the trophy stuff is blown up and big. Like it shows like the actual progress in certain games. I love that. I feel like there's a huge focus on games for this. Like the PS4 was like a more multimedia thing and big focus on online, but this like it separates like games and media. You have to toggle it to a whole other thing to get to like YouTube and stuff. And I love that. I like the big focus on games. I think they did a good job with that. And it looks great. 4K, HDR and everything else. Mm-hmm. Like I felt like the PS4 should have had more. It didn't though. Like there were certain games that had like 60 FPS on the PS3, you know what I mean? But there are definitely games that like are on the PS5 that without a doubt couldn't do anything on the PS4, you know what I mean? So I think it's a big jump. It feels futuristic too. I think.
I know this is probably controversial, but I love the design of it. Like I love like how futuristic it looks.
It's grown on me. The controllers too, dude. The controller. Oh my god!
It almost feels like an Xbox controller. Like as somebody that has played Xbox, like especially I have an Xbox controller for PC. I know, but I love the controller. I think it feels great.
Me too. Like the haptic feedback on the triggers, like I was playing a certain game and it like the left trigger like instantly, like I only had to press it down just a teeny bit and it reacted, like the gun started aiming, but then the trigger for the gun I had to press it down a little bit more and you could feel like resistance when I shot it, like shook the controller each time. It felt super realistic, and I was
and that's
freaking out.
Once you play some other games, like Resident Evil, for example, Resident Evil Village has excellent like the feedback thing with the controller is super good. Every weapon, and it has a ton of weapons, have a different recoil and has a different trigger. So every time that you switch between different guns, let's say like the shotgun is gonna feel heavier. When you do something like an SMG or like some kind of machine guns, it actually like bounces back in your finger and everything. It's such a cool thing. Games like that or The Last of Us Part 2. I know people don't like the game, but when it comes to that, those kind of features are like it really like enhances the enjoyment of the game. At least for myself, like whenever I'm playing and I'm having those features, I'm like, yo, like I am actually playing next gen titles. Like it actually does.
Yeah, it feels like immersive. It's really immersive and like has a lot of feedback. That's what I was saying. Like the PS3 to PS4 really didn't have that. You just kind of were playing PS4 games that looked a little better.
Yeah.
Exactly. PS5, it's like the rumble in it's good. The haptic feedback on the triggers is there. Like the audio through the controller actually sounds decent this time. There's a microphone in the fucking controller. You can hear your chat audio through the like. They did so many things that I feel like completely like outshines the gap between the 3 and 4. The only thing that I would argue that didn't is hard drive. Space. The SSD is obviously super good and I love it. That feels futuristic to me as well. But it's only 825 gigs. That's all I have. But you can upgrade it, which is nice. Yeah, it's not a lot more space than my PS4 Pro. It's actually the same.
It's barely any space. I totally agree with you. It's a big problem, especially because the PS5 games, some of them are like pretty heavy. Unfortunately, you know that's the new thing. You know, not most next gen games are pretty heavy. I feel mixed about the PS5 because I had it for a year. You had it for like 2 days, right? So
not 2 days, like
like a week now.
Like a week, a week or so, yeah.
Yeah, man, days go really fast. So to me, I really thought you got it yesterday, but obviously not. You got it like on Saturday, right? Because we were gonna record the podcast and everything. So it's been a week, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been an entire week.
Yeah. So to me, like I love the PS5, but I also can understand the argument that you don't need a PS5 right now.
I can see that too.
Most games are still releasing on like multi-platform. Sony really has taken off the pedal when it comes to like, because Sony like last generation it was like the must-have, right? If you want to play high-quality story games, you know, like Uncharted or Final Fantasy VII or like any big budget games, it will be only on PS5, right? But nowadays, I feel like, especially with the rise of Xbox and the Game Pass and everything, I don't know. I feel like Sony needs to step up their game when it comes to like games and everything. Because I only played like one Sony game this year. Well, 2. Really.
Yeah.
And that was just the Horizon Zero Dawn and Stray, which we're going to talk about later about.
Demon Souls.
Yeah, I mean, Demon Souls I played it when it came out. Because I got the PS5.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, to me, like, the only games that I have played, like, the new games that I played this year, Sony is literally just that game. I can't think of another one.
Yeah, I think just gaming in general, maybe this Nintendo Switch, which, from what I've seen recently, the Switch has actually been popping off quite a bit. Like, it's been actually doing pretty good. Xbox and PlayStation, you're right. Like, they kind of have not done a lot. Like, Halo Infinite, maybe? Like... It is strange.
Super mixed when it comes to like how people reacted to that game and everything.
Yeah, like I can't think of anything Xbox right now.
I can't think of anything. I actually never mind. I lied. I did play Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh yeah.
I will say that game.
But it was mixed as well, right?
It was super not good. I will say that much. They really wasted their money. Like Sony dumped money on this game for no reason. They should like. Right. This was like It's such a small game. I don't know. It didn't convince me. I'm sorry, it just didn't. But on the other hand, Nintendo has so many games this year. Like we're talking about two Pokemon games, two like big Pokemon games, right?
Yeah.
Legends Arceus, Violet and Scarlet, and then Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Live Alive just came out as well.
Yeah, there's like so many games. So many.
What's that?
games.
What's the Octopath Traveler people? Triangle Strategy or whatever.
Strategy, but I mean, like even other big things like the new
Splatoon 3,
game, right? Splatoon 3. Yeah. Like I mean, like there's just so many games. Like even though
Mario,
I'm not a big Nintendo fan, there's like so many. Oh, the Mario.
Mario Kart has more tracks and things now. There's a new Mario Party thing that came out this year.
Oh,
like
yeah,
they've been really hitting it.
Mario game, Mario the strategy game. Mario Rabbids.
Oh, the Rabbids thing. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
There's another one too. Yeah.
I mean, like that's just like off top of our heads. That's not like going down the list with every single game they're releasing.
I'm sure there's more. Yeah. It really like Nintendo has been doing pretty good, which sucks because like that's like such terrible hardware. You know, the PS5 is like, give me something good. Like right now on my PS5, I was like, okay, what do I do? Like, what if I wanted to? I'm like, Demon's Souls, I guess. And then I got Rainbow Six Siege, the PS5 upgrade, which like increased the frame rate, made it look better. Which is like, it's good and all, but it's like, it's nothing new really. It just looks better. And then I got the Final Fantasy Remake Yuffie DLC. And then other than that, though, I was like, there's kind of nothing else until just yesterday with Stray, right? So that's kind of it. That's all I've really got. Other than that, I'm just playing upgraded versions of games, which is nice. It is nice to play them with upgraded versions and stuff. Borderlands 3, for instance, has that. Hell Let Loose is a next-gen title only. It's like a World War II like military sim game I've been playing, but like other than that, I've just been playing upgraded versions of games. There's been only like a handful of like exclusives or games that I could only really play on the PS5 that I've been really playing, which kind of sucks, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
it's been kind of okay lately. I'm sure they're gonna be coming out with more games, right, as time goes on and everything. But it's already been a whole year since the PS5 came out. So yeah. I don't know. I really want more games for them because like you said, the hardware is obviously there. Like quality is there when it comes to like how strong the system is and everything. I almost like sometimes prefer just buying the PS5 version opposed to the PC version. So I'm like, oh, okay, because but PC sometimes a game is finicky and you have to like change the settings, and if you're changing the settings to lower them for the game to run good, then you might as well just play it on console. That's how I feel about it, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because most of the time, sometimes, but most of the time, you play the game straight right out of the box with no problems, right? Unless it's something like, the weird cases with like Cyberpunk 2077 or, some other games that come out.
Bethesda games.
Yeah, some Bethesda game or something. But typically, when you put a game out of the box into the PlayStation or like Xbox, you're never gonna have issues, right? It's just a game. But obviously, it used to be the drawback that it's not as strong as a PC. But I mean, if a game can run at 1080p, 4K or 4K with 60 FPS. That's already like a computer, right? I mean, like
basically,
yeah.
The PS5 looks like one. It's fucking huge, man. Compared to like other consoles that I have, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it is huge. It
powers, man. Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima is something I didn't say either, which you can play it on PS4 and it looks almost just as good. But Ghost of Tsushima is also another good one. But yeah, I agree. I think also it's just been a hard year in general. Like the past couple of years have been pretty rough, which could be hindering some things. I know development on a lot of games have been halted, but the thing is, I think things are changing now, and I'm not sure it's really an excuse anymore. So hopefully we start seeing some stuff. Like I know Square Enix, they're having like there's a Final Fantasy game coming out at the end of this one, like Zack's story. They have some other stuff, which we did a podcast on this, and then they have more stuff coming next year. So it seems like developers are starting to get back to developing again, which I'm happy about. I really want to see that sort of stuff happening, with games. You know, I think times are finally changing and becoming better. So
right.
So
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. We just have to be patient, I guess. The next few years is gonna be great. But yeah. Meanwhile, I guess I have to dust my Switch. I don't really like playing games on the Switch. I'm like, I know a lot of people like the portability or whatever. I'm like, just give me a Nintendo Switch console, like an actual like console with more strength. Like
yeah, I thought the OLED was supposed to be that, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Yeah. It is the OLED, and that's fine. OLED is good. You know, you want to have a better screen, but to me, I didn't upgrade it to the OLED because I don't play. I don't play the Nintendo like that. Like I literally have it docked all the time. Like it's never not docked. Especially for me and you, because we record like gameplay and we need the Elgato plugged in or whatever.
Yeah, and streaming.
Streaming and everything. When am I gonna play it? You know, like that. You know.
I play it from bed sometimes. You know what I play on there is fucking Tetris in bed. That's about all I do. Like nowadays, I didn't play SMC5 at all. Handheld.
Yeah, me neither. No reason. Yeah, me neither. Because I have to record gameplay and all that, and obviously, honestly, it just looked like crap on the little console, in the little screen. It just didn't look that good. So now, if we're talking about the Steam Deck, dude, the Steam Deck, it's so powerful, and it looks great when you're playing it in your hand. It looks so good. Now, I don't know if I'm thinking about selling it. I'm actually thinking about it.
Really?
Because I have the PC. I have a PC already. So I mentioned the portability aspect earlier, and the only reason, to be frank, and I mentioned this to you personally, but one of the biggest things that I wanted it for was for content creation. When I'm out at work and I want to record a video or whatever. But the other day, like, Mayonetta came out and I brought it in and I was like, dude, fuck it, I'm just gonna record my reaction on the phone. And that's what I did.
Oh man.
Because you have to set it up, and the whole setup is like 5-10 minutes, right? You have to go pull it up. It's a PC. It's a PC, so you have to do PC things. You have to pull up OBS, and you have to pull up the other thing, and you have to up the quality of the plug in your microphone. Everything that you have to do on a PC, you have to do it for it. So I love the Steam Deck. I think it's fantastic. In fact, I know people are like, oh, it's not a Switch killer. I'm like, no, when it comes to actual quality of it, I do feel like it's a Switch killer. I feel like everything about it is better on the Switch. Sure, it doesn't have the Nintendo games, and you can't emulate them, unfortunately, I guess. But personally, I prefer it because I love the freedom of a PC. I love the freedom of Steam. Steam just has way more many games that you can play in there, and the quality is there. Every game that I played looked great. There wasn't a single game that I was like, oh man, this looks like ass.
And I already have 1,000 games on Steam as well. You pick up a Switch, it's not like you have games cataloged from somewhere. If you get a Switch and you never had a Nintendo Switch before, every single game you're buying is going to be brand new, right? The Steam, I have a bunch of games, it's just in a catalog, like my backlog of games I just haven't played. Those are all there, If I get a Steam Deck, it's ready to go, which I should get mine in the next couple of months. I do have a pre-order set for it. I think I said Q3, so July, August, September. I should get a Steam Deck soon, so hopefully I get it sooner than later. My bank account's gonna be hurting me on that one when randomly I get $400 or whatever taken out of my bank account. I don't expect it.
Well, let me know if you want it. Maybe I can sell it to you. I'll give you a
I might do that. I might just cancel my pre-order and take yours. I don't know. We'll talk. I guess we'll talk later. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
What games have you been playing on it? You mentioned Demon's Souls, right?
Yeah, Demon's Souls, which I love. But I've also been playing Borderlands on it. Like I said, it looks better on there. Hell Let Loose, I've been playing on that. Some multiplayer games like Uno and golf and Monopoly stuff with my friends. But question, yeah, Overwatch.
Did you get to play Overwatch 2 on it?
Yes, I did. Briefly. There is a PS5 version, and I got it for free, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I played it briefly, and dude, it looks so good. It looked great on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch 2 compared to Overwatch 1. already had like a graphical upgrade. It already looked better, but like on the PS5, it looked so good. Honestly,
Dude,
but
we're gonna have to play Overwatch together because I love Overwatch, but I wasn't able to get into the beta, like any of the 2 betas. I tried really hard, and I wasn't able to get into any of them.
yeah, I wasn't able to do it for free. I had to pay the watch point pack to get in. So.
I refused to pay. I was just trying to, because the other way was like you could register in the website or whatever, and they will send you a link.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, nothing happened out of both of them. And I asked a couple of people that I know, and I was like, hey, did you get in or whatever? One of them did, but I was like, okay, you play it. You want to play more than I do. I can just wait. It was already like, it was pretty close to the end of the beta, and I was like, it comes out in a month, right, or 2? Is it August or October?
I think it was October. It's like early October, I think, though. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
It's
like,
free.
It's just like 2-3 months, and it's free, so it's whatever. I can wait that long. I feel like I can wait long enough for that.
It's really good. I feel like they actually improved a lot of things. Taking out 1 tank is good. Having 5 players, I think, makes sense. The new maps are really good,
they take out 1 tank? Oh, man, I play tanks. Is it going to be harder for me to
I did, too. No, the tanks are tankier. The DPS does more DPS, and the healers do more healing. Everybody does their roles much better now. Like, tanks really actually feel tanky. Like, I know some of the tanks are kind of like short on health, and they felt like almost a DPS character sometimes. Like, when I play D.Va, though, I absolutely shred, because she's got like 700 health or something, and
hell yeah,
half of its armor.
Well, she has the armor, right? She has the mech.
Yeah, I don't know, it's really fun. I have a bunch of clips and things I have saved on my PS4. Just like me getting my PS5, I completely forgot about any of that stuff. But like, I have a ton of clips saved. I was gonna like tweet out and stuff, I forgot to, but I think they did a really good job. I like having 1 tank, 2 DPS, 2 healers, and everybody does the roles better because you're missing 1 player on the team, right? So everything needs to go up. And
Right.
Every character feels more significant now, which is good. Because I heal as well.
Fair enough.
I play DPS too. I have mains in each section. I did good on all 3. I don't know, maybe like if I was gonna go pro on anything or try to go pro, I think Overwatch might be it. Because like, I don't know, I feel like I could do just about anything on that.
You feel
game.
you could do it, dude. It's great. It's really good. I didn't actually start playing Overwatch right away when it came out. There was another game that came out around the time the Overwatch came out. Oh man, I always forget the name of it. It's
the people by Gearbox.
Battleborn, yeah. And me and my friend, we thought Battleborn was gonna be better, and it was actually really good. Like, I don't know if anyone played Battleborn. It's a great game. Unfortunately, it came out so close to Overwatch. It's just like it got overshadowed by Overwatch. But I personally really like Battleborn, especially because there was a lot of more options for melee characters, and that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed that because the character that I played in Battleborn was a melee character. Anyway, besides the point, I like much later, literally just last year, I started playing Overwatch with a friend, and it was really good. It's really fun. I liked it. I only play it casually. Like, I only play it every once in a while. So, but I'm good enough. Like, I won some games. I lost some games. I won like like whenever these like the one that did the most damage, or whenever they vote you and you have like the that little cutscene that they do for you if you were like the player of the game or
play the game,
yeah. So I'm not bad, but yeah, I enjoy playing tanks. That because I could never play any other character other than tank. Like every time that I'll go to get a match, the other characters were like already taken. That's why I was like, is it gonna be worse than that for tanks?
No, I think it's actually better. I think tanks are really good. A lot of people still want to play DPS. That's how it's always been. People want to play DPS because they want to shoot or whatever. I've always liked tank or support more, but I could do DPS if I have to. But yeah, like the tanks are tankier. Like D.Va also, her guns do more damage and they're more accurate. It's not just health and like stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, like, is it gonna be harder to get into a match? With just
into a match?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, because of the amount of people playing. we got into matches faster in Overwatch 2, which is a beta, than we had recently with Overwatch 1. And that game's out, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I think so many people are trying to play. I think it just depends on how many people are playing, really. But I got matches pretty quick.
So how many new maps did they added?
They added, I think, 4 or 5, and they were push maps. But every single map had a different variation. If they were at the daytime, they were at nighttime. It just looked a little bit different. They might have changed a few things in the map too, but every map has an alternate version now. Every character has an alternate skin, like the Overwatch 2 skin. And they added like 5 maps, I think, with the new game mode. That's about all we have now. But they still have a few more months. They're going to add, I think they said, a new tank this year, and then 2 more support characters by next year. I think one of them might come out this year. So they plan to have more characters come out. I think when the game releases, they said they're going to have like a new tank and a new support pretty much come out right away, which is nice.
Oh,
I know people want more characters. And there's already 2 new characters for Overwatch. Sojourn and I can't remember. Oh, Junker Queen. She's the newest one. She was the one that was part of this beta. So Sojourn and Junker Queen are already part of it. So there already are 2 new characters. There's going to be 2 more coming out by the end of the year. So they seem like they added a lot. Yeah. They change things around, which I'm happy about. They should
take the League of Legends approach and just add a bunch of characters.
I think they are for the most part. Yeah. They're going for that. Yeah, they gotta balance it out though. Like there's tanks, there's DPS and stuff, which is why people wanted healers. We haven't had like a new healer in like a super long time, like over a year or 2 or something. Baptiste was the last one, so like I'm glad they're finally adding healers because it's like I only play Mercy, Lucio, or Baptiste.
I think everybody plays Mercy. There was not a single game that I didn't play that there was no Mercy.
It makes sense. She does like just the most healing at like one time. Everybody else heals pretty good, but they heal in a different way. Like either like it's like an area of effect healing or like some add armor, but Mercy's just direct healing like on you, so it does a lot. Yeah. I was never a good healer.
That's why I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do tank. You have to be good. Yeah, there's like I just don't know like the tricks to like be a good one, and then like I don't know, I just did not enjoy that. But tank, I enjoy that.
I enjoy tank as well. Tank and support I really enjoy. DPS I enjoy if there's like good healers, but like yeah, you're right. Healing, you just have to have good like spatial awareness. You have to know what all of your teammates are doing. You have to be pretty much a babysitter for everybody, because like people are gonna be pissed at you if you don't heal them. But like it's like I need to heal the tank. He's kind of the person like pushing us. So like you kind of sometimes have to know who to let die at times, and also who to heal.
Yeah,
and who to like especially Mercy, she resurrects people. It's like I'm gonna resurrect the tank, not the DPS. Like why would I do the DPS? So there's a lot of that stuff involved when like trying to, do Overwatch, you have to keep track of like everything, which gets super crazy. But yeah, PS5, I'm ready for that. That's at least a good game that looked even better on the PS5, which I'm excited about. But we have another game, Stray. So I haven't played this yet, and it's been going pretty wild and crazy. It seems like I didn't think this game was going to be as big. Like, we had some PlayStation State of Plays where they showed it up, I think, like 1 or 2 or something, and it looked really cute and everything, but I didn't understand, like, what the game was about, really. Like, I know you play as a cat, obviously, but I didn't know, like, what the cat's doing. Yeah. But I didn't realize it's solving a mystery, and it's escaping the city. That's why I just see from, like, gameplay and stuff I've seen, and like apparently they use like actual cats as like voice actors for the game and stuff, which is really interesting.
Did it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've seen like a picture on Twitter. She's like, yeah, this is blah blah blah. I can't remember the cat's name. Like, she's a voice actor for Stray. It's just a cat in like a cat bed. I'm like, oh damn. Oh wow.
Yeah, because one thing that they do is in your game, there's a designating meowing button. And awesome. Every time that you press the button, it meows something different. Like they have like I don't know how many voice lines they did for the cat, but they have a lot of voice lines for the cat. And it's kind of neat. It does to give you the experience of playing as a cat. Like the camera is panned a certain way that makes it look like you're playing as a cat. and all the puzzles, you have to kind of think about it from like a cat perspective. Like there's a mini puzzle where you have to stand in a keyboard and type like a cat, just literally be a cat and like go on the keyboard and everything, and there's this robot that is trying to have a conversation with you, but you're a cat, so it's just like gibberish. So literally just go walk around the keyboard, and you have to do this a bunch of times in order to open a door. So there's stuff like that. Like there's a bunch of puzzles that are just like, it will only make sense if you're a cat. Like otherwise, like, it will not make sense.
You have to be the cat, become the cat.
Exactly. You have to like think like a cat, or like like the jumping is like crazy, because they're like, sometimes you're like, oh man, I can't make that jump, and you can actually make the jump in a single jump, because cats jump really high. And sometimes you're like, oh man, I have nowhere to go, and there's like a little hole in the corner, or like, and obviously as a cat you can feed on this kind of stuff, but if you think like a human of like, oh, I can't open the door, well, there's like a little door on the side, or like a little hole for like a cat. So there's a lot of things like that, or windows things. That's a big thing in the game. There's a lot of windows and stuff like that, where like you have to jump into a house. You can go to the window and everything. So I don't know. It's just an interesting game.
Is it a long game?
No,
so
it's like
download was like 8 gigs.
It's like 4 or 5 hours. That's how long it is. So I think the demo is probably gonna be like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a long game. It's not meant to be a long game, but it's meant to give you like an experience, because it's not a $60 game. It's a $30 game. So I feel like it's fine for the price. So it's $30, but you get the experience enough. Like I play like every hour. Like I play 1 hour, and I streamed the hour. Like it was really fun. I just streamed it. I know you're probably gonna finish in one playthrough if you stream it. I will like split it up in like 2 or like 2 hours or something like that. I personally, that's what I will do myself. But like,
I'll probably
it's fine either way.
Like
I know you will. Yeah, it's like about almost 5 hours if you like actually like walk around and like, because there's a lot of little puzzles that don't have to do with the story, but they're more about like finding out what's going on in the world. Because you're the cat living in this post-apocalyptic cyberpunk city, but there is no humans. Humans are long gone, and instead there are robots. And these robots are not just like, oh, like beep beep boop boop or whatever. They're like, these robots have like cultures. They have languages. They have like, they're literally,
they're evolved.
Yeah, they're like sentient AI. They have literally groups with like different languages, and like they wear clothing and stuff like that. So they're not just like little R2D2 going around. Like they're actually I guess like a replacement for people. They have like feelings. They fall in love. Like you find like there's this robot that you find that is pretty sad, and you start finding these logs of like what happened with their friends and everything, and it's kind of sad, like these robots care for each other and everything. So it's very interesting. It's more like than what I expected, but it gives you such a good feel because you're a fucking cat running around in
I was gonna
city,
say,
whatever.
Who would have thought the cat game is a game that's a fucking tearjerker? That's good though. That's what games should be like. It not only is a good story and good, like, interesting gameplay, but like it's just a unique game, which is good, right? I think we need more games like this where it just kind of does something completely different, because that just adds so much variety to the game in general. Like I said, I haven't played it yet. I just got my PS5, so like I put everything on hold. Like even my Final Fantasy, I've been running through all of the Final Fantasy games. Starting from the first one, I almost beat the first one, but I quit because I got the PS5. But like, I'm probably gonna stream Stray and a bunch of other games before I get back to like my same schedule again. But like,
yeah,
I'm just now catching up. But like, I'll probably stream it soon and play it and everything. But
hey, that's good, dude. That's good.
It's interesting.
I personally, I would like to have a work from home job so I can actually like play, because like by the time that I get home, and that's really my job, because I used to work from home often. So that I had a streaming. Basically, I had a streaming schedule because I had nothing else going on. I could get home at like I will be done by like 6 o'clock, so I could just stream or whatever.
Yeah.
But right now, because I work in the office, I had to drive like on like 8 o'clock. So I get home like at 7 or 8. I'm like, 8 o'clock, like I still have to eat food and all that. Like, I don't know, man. I don't get that anymore.
But it's time for bed by the time you're done.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's time. By the time that I get home and I eat and everything, I'm like, I'm probably just gonna shower and head to bed. Like, or maybe like watch some TV or something. Cause
maybe you'll have time, but it's like, are you gonna enjoy the game as much because you're so tired and everything?
Yeah, and that's exactly what was happening. I will stream for like an hour and then be like, okay, I'm out to bed. And like the thing about streaming
shit,
is
I don't want to do this.
You have to stream more than an hour. That's the thing, right? About streaming, you have to do multiple hours. Especially if like a game like that where people are watching you and they're involved with it and everything. If they're not chatting or whatever, I guess there's no shame. It's just like, all right, I'm going for the night. But if you have a few people watching and they're like talking to you and everything, I always feel bad being like, okay, well, I'm going to sleep. Bye.
See you, losers. I'm out. Y'all aren't paying me enough.
Yeah, right.
I'm kidding. Don't take that seriously.
I feel bad because I wanted to stream so bad. I haven't been able to finish the cat game yet. I only played like 2 hours of it because my AC broke. And I am like cooking up right now, actually. It's like 90 degrees inside the house. And we told the apartment people. And you know what they did? They brought in one of those portable AC units.
Bro,
like one of those little ones, No,
that'll make one room cold, sure.
Exactly.
Maybe.
And they put it in the living room, and the living room is big, so like I'm in my room, so it's like super hot as fuck. Like it's terrible. It's like one of those things that I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. Well, if the area around you sucks, like it's hard to play or do things.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I totally get that. We lost power here at my house, and we have central air, so it's just hooked to like the house's power, right? There's nothing I could do. Literally, like we couldn't sleep because like I don't know if you guys remember. If you're from like the East Coast, you definitely know what I'm talking about. There was a huge heat wave that hit like the East Coast and Midwest and everything, and it like tons of people lost power because of it, and it did terrible like heat storms basically, and everybody lost power. So like the heat wave that came in that like was so bad, it caused terrible weather, made everybody lose power. Like it was the absolute worst time for people to lose power because like it was record highs in terms of like heat. Like I think where I lived, it was like 107 one day, and that was the record high in like decades. And we didn't have AC or anything. And I was like trying to work and stuff too, because I had a job at that point. I was like, this is so bad. I tried to play stuff with my Switch in the car. Like that's the only gaming I did, and it was like half an hour or something. Yeah. I did like a couple Catherine puzzles, but like, dude, yeah, the way like your surroundings sometimes with playing a game determines how good it is. Like I felt like when I streamed Amnesia for the first time, I was just like in a really good like time for me. I don't know why, and like I had chat going and everything, and it was really fun to play. I think it's similar with my experience with SMT3. Just like the entire like environment, the people that were in my stream and everything just made it that much better. So yeah, I definitely think like what's going on in your life and like your surroundings, everything affects like how much you want to play a game, or like if you play it at all and how much you enjoy it. Funny enough, but
yeah, totally see where you're coming from. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah. It's one of those things that when it's too hot for me, I just cannot like enjoy gaming or anything. I cannot enjoy anything. I can barely sleep when it's like hot.
Dude, it's so bad sleep. Dude, I hate waking up sweating. It's like, fuck. You're so tired when you wake up. I feel like you did a workout. All you did was sleep. It's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. It's just terrible. I cannot handle that. So it's whatever, man. But maybe in the future, I'm able to finish this game. I want to stream more. I really love streaming. It's one of my favorite things. I love streaming. It's really fun chatting with people and like playing the games and everything. So
yeah. I want to stream more too. It's just like going in and out of jobs and things. I definitely get it now. Like just trying to like Yeah, like basically it's the end of your day. You're just like, shit, I just want to do nothing. I did so much stuff today.
Yeah,
Sucks.
exactly.
Sometimes I'm just like, no, you can do it. Like, just stream. And I'm like, okay, I'll just do an hour. I played Hell Let Loose last night for an hour, and like, the people were like, what'd you at least do for like an hour? I was like, I was just trying. Like, I can't lie. I was like dead tired when I started it. So, yeah. Sometimes it's rough, but
yeah. How's that game, by the way?
Hell Let Loose is pretty good. Like, it's a military sim. For some reason, it's on next gen only, but I don't feel like it should be that way. I don't know why.
Yeah, it doesn't look next gen.
Yeah, it looks good, sure, but it doesn't look like it has to be next gen. It's weird. It's only cross-play with PC and Xbox, or PlayStation and Xbox, but the game's also on PC, but we can't play with them. Like, PC's its own thing. I don't understand what the developers are doing with that game. It surprises me.
How is it? Is it good? Like, do you like the game?
It's really good. It's weird. It's interesting because, like, it's 50v50. It's a World War II military simulation game, so, like, it's super realistic. It's not like Call of Duty where, like, people have emotes and shit. It's really realistic. Like, whenever you shoot your gun and everything like that, it feels realistic as well. There's no like crosshairs or anything that helps you. You have iron sights. You don't have crazy scopes or anything like that. And if you get shot like once or twice, you're dead. Like, you don't regenerate health or anything either. You have to do basically like what they would have done in like World War II. That's all you have. And I think it's interesting doing it that way. Because, yeah, and there's certain squads, right? There's a sniper squad. You're only allowed to have like 2 snipers per team of like 50 people, and then you have 5 or 6 engineers that work on like tanks or something. Then there's like infantry, which is like 30 something people. So it's like accurate to that scale as well. There can't be like 50 snipers, which is like a lot of people's issue with Battlefield. Like, Battlefield's huge, big open map, so it's like everybody's gonna snipe. The maps are huge, right?
Also, and like something classes, I guess. Yeah,
but you only can have like a few snipers per team on Hell Let Loose. You can't have like a million snipers. You only can have like you have 2, and you have a spotter with you too, like a person that helps you like do recon basically. So it's pretty realistic to that. And the teams, like there's the German team, the Russian team, American team. Like people during World War II, and you only get guns from that certain place. Like the Americans get the Thompson, the M1 Garand stuff, but if you're the Russian team, you get Russian guns and whatnot, and German guns like the P40 and things. So it's just like super accurate, which is what I like. And like the progression system's pretty good too.
That sounds pretty cool. Dang, interesting. Yeah,
it's not a full price game either. It's like 40.
40? I don't know if I'll play for 40. Maybe like 20.
I think it's on sale for 20 right now.
You think it's 40 is a good price? When did it come
out? Oh, came out last year, but it's like $20 something right now. But it's part of the summer sale.
Oh, okay.
I didn't buy it for 40 either. I wasn't gonna do it. I don't think either for 40, but it's like I think I had like $27 or something. Not bad. Like I said, it's just like you gotta like that stuff. It's not Call of Duty where you're like flying around the map, 360 no scoping with your fucking rainbow camo and stuff. It's not like that at all. It's like boots on the ground in the trenches. It's like scary sometimes when like a tank rolls over my leg practically, and I'm like laying in a bush. It's like super realistic like that. And like you can't shoot a tank with your gun and the tank blows up. Like you have to have a rocket or something.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting how they do all that stuff. The destruction's pretty cool too, like blowing up buildings and things like that. It just looks nice. It's a pretty good game. You have like commanding officers too. There's proximity chat for the game as well. Like you can't just talk to somebody who's a mile away on the map. You have to be like next to them to tell them.
That's pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd be like, yo, there's some crazy shit happening over here. Like, get everybody grouped up. Let's like go into the trenches and shit. They got like you can make plans and stuff, and you have to talk to the people who do the tank. And there are radios, so you can like radio a tank guy to like loop around to flank a building or something like that. So you just got to be like really into it. A lot of people like there's some YouTube videos of people out there like getting like super into it. It's pretty funny, but it's a fun game. It's slow paced. Like I said, you just kind of have to like that stuff. It's not for everybody, but it's an interesting game, yeah. I don't know if you. What's your one recommendation if someone were to buy a PS5 right now? What's the one game you think they should try?
Oh man,
I'm curious.
That's hard. That's hard.
There's not a ton, so like I know it's difficult. I mean, I think Demon Souls is pretty good.
Souls, but the thing is, Demon Souls is not for everyone.
Unfortunately,
it's not a game that I will say, oh man, everybody has to try it.
A lot of people didn't like Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Well, like a select few. A lot of people actually really loved Elden Ring. Even people who didn't like Soulsborne games, but Demon Souls is like a true Soulsborne game.
Exactly. Like if you say Elden Ring is the most accessible Souls game, Demon Souls is the least accessible.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
So like, and it's like if you're talking about like actual difficulty, Demon Souls is actually hard. Like that's
it really is.
It's actually hard, and I'm one of those people who are like, yeah, most Dark Souls games are not hard. Demon Souls is like it is in scale of like difficulty. It is less balanced, even though this is a remake or remaster, whatever you want to call it.
It kept it true.
Yeah, it kept it true to the original one. It's less balanced. It has a lot of features that are obviously missing from the older.
You don't have flasks to heal yourself. You have to
go up items.
You have to go find items to heal yourself. Yeah. That's one thing I noticed. There's one thing though that I was like, well, the healing thing's one thing. They could have added flasks to this, but I get why they didn't. There's one thing though that I think is stupid that they kept, and that's the inventory. Your inventory can become full, and your items are sent to a guy who holds them. Yeah. They should have got rid of that.
Yeah, that doesn't need to be there, but it's whatever, I guess.
Because the original game had it, and it couldn't handle that much items. Like I understand why for that, but for this, it didn't make sense. You know, the hard it could have not had it.
It's a bunch of stuff like that, but it's interesting. It's a good game. Personally, I'm thinking the Spider-Man game.
That's
Spider-Man
true. Yeah,
Morales, that's a great game to play on PS5. But then again, I guess that's a kind of you can play it on PS4 too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any PS5 games that also are like system sellers.
There's the Yuffie DLC, which is pretty good, but again, that's
that's like a few hours.
It's just part of the remake, right? It's not the remake. Like the remake's the whole game. The Yuffie DLC is just its own thing. Yeah.
I guess Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. That's a great game.
Yeah.
It's a really good game. It also has the thing with the triggers that we were talking about earlier, with the shooting and everything.
Oh yeah.
Where like every gun has a different feel to them, and actually like the trigger does it. Ratchet and Clank does it too. The graphics are really good, and because there's no loading screens on that game. Like sure there's some, but most of them are like
most games don't have loading screens.
Bam. And the game is crazy because it will go from like one dimension to another dimension because of the rift thing. You'll be in one world and then like pull into a completely different world in like seconds. It's really that shit is really cool. Like it's actually like a really cool feature.
There's something similar that I've noticed too. I've been playing the remake, Final Fantasy remake, a little bit, and I talked about this in my latest video. Little plug there, shameless plug. But I talked about how like it was super noticeable. And Square Enix does this a lot. It's super noticeable when you go from a cutscene to like gameplay models. When they just like they take the quality of like the super nice. Like, you'll see a cutscene like Tifa at the bar, and it's like, oh my gosh, she looks amazing. The background looks so good. And then it cuts out of the cutscene, it's just like, oh, everything looks like shit now, what happened? Like, her face looks all mushy and, like foggy now, and the background doesn't look good, the lighting's bad. But, like, on the PS5, I've noticed, it's not nearly as bad at all. Like, when you get out of cutscenes, you still feel like you're, like, the person that was in the cutscene and whatnot, which I really like that about it. And the loading too, it doesn't take forever.
It's getting closer to that, or you're actually playing the trailer, right? Or you're actually playing what it's supposed to look on the cutscenes.
I talked about, I feel like the remake was meant for next gen, almost, because of how bad the backgrounds and everything, just like doors and stuff, look absolutely terrible on the PS4 version. I still recommend playing it, but like the game looks good, like half of the time, like really good half of the time, but like on the PS5 it looks good pretty much the entire time. Like the backgrounds and everything else, the cutscenes look almost like the gameplay. So I don't know, I guess like maybe the Final Fantasy VII remake is what I would suggest playing on next gen, or like Ghost of Tsushima. That came out on PS4 as well, but like it's so good. It's so good on next gen. It looks so beautiful. That game in general looks beautiful.
It's a great looking game. I think it's one of the best looking games on the console. So
that's one of the best looking games ever. I don't know. It's up there. I don't know how they managed to make it look that good on last gen as well. It blew my mind. I thought I was playing like next gen stuff. Like on the PS5, it's just that much better. Yeah,
I agree with that. That's another one that I'll say that's a good try. Obviously, there is things like the Last of Us Part 2. I think that's good. I know there's mixed things about the game or whatever, but as far as like the looks of the feel in the game on the PS5, I think it's pretty fair.
Yeah,
that's one that I'll say. Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out on PS5. But that's the same thing. I think that's the problem of like PS5 games right now. It's like there are games that are already in other consoles, right? There are most of the games that we're talking about. I'm like, yeah, you can play it on the PS4 too. You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the problem I think right now that with Sony thing. Sure, you can play them and they look better, like quality wise, the FPS, the what do you call that? The lighting system. What do you call that?
I know HDR is the color and stuff like that.
It's not HDR. It's the other thing that they add.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like the reflections and the ray tracing. Right.
Ray tracing,
a lot of the games feature ray tracing in the game, and that's something that you're never gonna get on the PS4. So sure, a lot of this stuff is visually enhanced, and 60 FPS in most games is a given that you need, especially for shooters and that kind of stuff, or action games. A lot of games that they have are like action games and everything. So
HDR is also there too. Unless you have a PS4 Pro, you don't have HDR. Which certain games like Final Fantasy 15, for instance, when I played with HDR and without HDR, it was like completely different looking games. The amount of range it gives is crazy with color. You don't realize it till you try it out, and then you're like, shit, I can't go back. Like having HDR is so nice for the games that like really support it. And I'm just curious to see like, because I feel like we've only had like a handful of games like truly developed for the PS5. Like Demon's Souls is probably one of those. But like, I'm really curious to see in the next year or two like what games look like. Like the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 and Final Fantasy 16. Like those are like games made for next gen. I'm 100%. Curious to see how wild like Final Fantasy 16 looks.
Yeah, totally agree with you. So I'm curious to see what next for the future of the PlayStation. Because it's gonna be good. I think, like you said, the chops are there. The stuff that people want to see is there, and they definitely have the machinery and everything about the PS5 does look like it's gonna be maybe next game 2023 2024. I guess maybe we'll see like the actual stuff that we're supposed to see. Obviously with COVID and all that, it definitely like messed them up.
Yeah, unfortunately, like developers had a rougher time with that, and it's hard to, especially if you're like a publisher, right, and you're giving money to companies to make games. COVID's happening. You're gonna have to spend more money because people are working from home, and it's gonna be harder to develop a game in general. So like everybody's losing out on money pretty much all around, and you don't quite know what's gonna happen. So yeah, unfortunately, that's how things are. But I think I'm optimistic about it. Yeah, I think PS5, if you get the chance to get one and you have the money sparingly, sure, go for it. That's the shoes I was in when I got one. I don't think it's worth
that's the big takeaway from you.
Yeah, it's not worth like not being able to eat for a week. You know what I mean? Like you'll be okay. It's I think we have a while to wait.
It's more like if you have the money and you want to have it, then definitely get it.
It's not a must.
But if you're not, like, don't sweat it. If you can't get it one right now, don't buy it one for $1,000. It's definitely not worth it.
Definitely not.
Don't buy it from scalpers or anything. You're eventually gonna get it. That's a reality. The thing is, I think sooner rather than later, they're gonna be more available and people are gonna be able to get them. I don't think it's worth that much effort into it. Like if you can get it, if you get lucky and your friend is like, hey man, they're selling them at Target or something like that, or you're in the website one day or you find it, cool. But if you can't, don't sweat it. Again, it's okay. Like it's not the end of the world or anything like that. Eventually you're gonna be able to find one. In fact, I had a few chances to be able to get one. But obviously I have one now. But sometimes I'm like, oh man, I let people know. I'm like my friends. I'm like, hey, they're selling one right now. I didn't know we were looking for one, or maybe you weren't looking for one. You just happened to get one, I guess.
That's kind of how I was. I was like, I don't necessarily need one, but the opportunity just came, and I had the money to do it, so I went for it. It kind of like we're saying, it's like if you just kind of see the opportunity and you for sure have more than enough money, go for it. You're probably gonna have to get like a bundle or something. So like even now, it might be worth just waiting to not have to get a bundle. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna give you some shit you probably don't need, like an extra controller. Okay, like I could see that, but like the games you don't need, controller charging like stations and shit like that. It's like you don't need that kind of stuff. So I don't know, and I get it though. Like these places have so much extra PS5 like stuff. My GameStop had a color of every single controller there. Like,
nice. Yeah, I got the white one because that's the only color that they had at the time. I'm kind of annoyed about it.
Yeah, but it's like they couldn't get rid of them. Nobody has a PS5. That's why they had them. That's why they made us have to buy another controller with it. So I have the white controller and the red controller. That's what I'm working with. But yeah, it's just crazy. They have so much shit. Like, please take it. You're gonna have to buy a bundle. You're gonna have to buy like an extra controller in the game.
You have to buy the bundles. It is what it is.
We have 100 copies of Call of Duty Vanguard. You're gonna have to buy one with it. I'm sorry. It's like, okay, I guess I'll do that then. If it's I only got a couple extra things with it, but yeah, is what it is, I suppose. But
of course, totally agree. Well,
that's kind of our thoughts.
I think we're pretty much good to go here, guys. Thank you so much for watching this or listening to this podcast today. It was pretty fun to talk about pretty much all the stuff going on. Yeah. PS5, guys, are you interested in one? Do you want one? Let us know in the comments down below. We're of course interested in your opinion. And yeah, it's been cool. If you guys want to subscribe, we do a podcast every Saturday night. And it's going pretty good so far. We got a bunch of subscribers lately, and appreciate all those guys that came in and everything. And if you guys have any people, yeah, of course, and we do have a lot of plans and all stuff for the future. So definitely keep an eye on all that. We will do. What was it that we were planning to do? We're gonna do another 3x3 soon.
Yeah. Movies.
So yeah, that's the next one. So
we'll probably have a guest next.
Yeah, so we're gonna either try a guest next time or have the 3x3, and also you'll see next week, obviously. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this, guys. We'll see you guys in the next one.
See you, everybody.